Cool, welcome to part 3 of our Focus Physio live blog series. So we talked about back pain for the last 2 weeks, and this week is going to be week 3. Alright, so we're going to talk about management strategies. So just to recap, in part 1, we talked about regional interdependence and how different parts of the body could potentially affect or contribute to lower back pain. Part 2, we talked about some of the myths behind lower back pain, and we tried to debunk some of the myths that is common practice, or what you hear very commonly, and how they shouldn't be applied to lower back pain these days. Now, part 3, we're going to talk about management strategies and how we could manage stuff as we go along, mobility work or stretches for just a day-to-day person. So first things first, ignore exercises, ignore everything else. What we want to do is, if you have a look at my feet, alright, cool. So we talked about taking off our shoes. So if you recall in our video series with Dr. Perry Nicholson a few weeks ago, he talked about foot coffins being our shoes, and how by wearing shoes and socks it deprives our body and our brain of any sensory information that could come from our feet interacting with the ground. So by wearing shoes, we have a completely different sensation to what we feel in our body as opposed to taking off our shoes. So one recommendation is, as often as you can, remove your shoes and socks, see what it feels. Have a walk on the grass, see what it feels like without your shoes on. Have a walk on the tarmac, have a walk on pebbles, have a walk on different surfaces at the beach and so on, without your shoes on, to see what it feels like. Alright, cool. So that's part 1. Above all, chuck your shoes off. That's a nice, simple, easy thing to do. So we'll go on to a few stretches as you would have seen in our blog. If you haven't seen our blog, please go check it out on our website, or the link is also on our Facebook page. So we talked about 3 main stretches of mobility stuff that we could talk about, and we're just going to run through some of them today. So the first one is called thoracic rotation with a rib grab. What we want to try and do is encourage movement in our trunk. Part 2, the second exercise is called Bretzel, which is also to encourage movement in our trunk, but also looking at our hips and how the front musculature of the body works together as well. And part 3, we're going to show you a nice opener or a nice stretch for our hips to get some movement through our hips, especially when we're sitting or driving and that it gets really tight. Alright, so the first one is going to be a thoracic rotation with rib grab. You get a roller, you lie on your side, bottom leg straight, top leg through here, hold it down. You want your knee at your hip level. Alright, this helps to protect your lumbar spine as well. Hold on to that. Now top hand, grab on to the underside of your ribs. You're just going to breathe through. So breathe in, open it through, breathe in. Movement with the breath to try and open up, using your breath to try and get you a bit more range each time as you go along. Compare both sides. Alright. Number 2, following on from this position, we look at the Bretzel. So you've got same position, this time the knees on the floor, that bottom leg straight, top hand grabbing onto your bottom ankle, and you're trying to drop that down. You want to try and get that shoulder to the ground as close as you can. You want to try and get this knee behind this hip to get some sort of hip extension through there. Alright, so once again, one side, compare both sides. Alright, so before you use it as a stretch, compare both sides first to see if there's any difference between one side or the other. We want to try and get some form of symmetry at the very least. Right, part 3 is going to be our couch stretch. Come up against the wall. Now this is quite an advanced version. You have that shin bone and your toes pointed right against the wall. Bring this one up 90 degrees, sitting up like so. Alright, so that opens up right through the front. It's a really good exercise for the front of the hips for those who sit a lot or who drive a lot. Right, so this is the more advanced version. A slight regression to take things one step back. Bring this knee forward slightly. Coming up in that position. Alright? So your eventual goal is to have this knee right back into the wall, but even if you're there, that's fine as well. Now we want to make sure that your spine's nice and straight rather than having that through there. The gold standard for this stretch is going to be 2 minutes, 4 to 5 times a day, if you can. Alright, so the key thing is that 2-minute mark, because we want to look at time under tension. So just to recap, we did the thoracic rotation with rib grab. Alright, work for about 4 or 5 breaths each side. You can do that a few times. For the bretzel, you want to work there for about a minute as well. Nice belly breathing in that position, easing into the stretch. For this exercise, you want to go 2 minutes, 4 to 5 times a day. That's your gold standard. Alright, so I hope that you found the last 3 weeks beneficial for you in terms of information, in terms of the videos that we've put out as well. Feel free to comment below any ideas or any comments you might have. Now, it's a special something for our viewers. We've got this promotion going on from now leading up to Christmas. If you call up within the next few days before Christmas, we're giving away a free 15-minute free consultation, a free back pain screen, just to look at any concerns or any restrictions you might have. So once again, give us a ring, 471-8151, drop us an email, reception@focusphysio.co.nz, or drop us a message on our Facebook page and ask us about your free 15-minute screen, and one of our physios will be in touch to book you in for a 15-minute screen, and we can talk about management as we go along once again. So once again, I hope you've enjoyed our last 3 weeks. Feel free to go back, look at the videos, try out some of these exercises, see if you've benefited from them, see if you found them helpful, and just let us know. Thank you very much.